Hello guys, so today let's talk about basic shoes for you, for your legs type, for your body type. In my next video, we're gonna talk specifically about petite women or women with shorter legs or women with shorter and wider legs. So first of all, when we are creating an outfit and we are choosing correct shoes for correct outfit, we have to think about visual weight of an outfit. For example, if it looks too heavy on top, it can't be too light on the bottom, otherwise it might look slightly disbalanced. Same thing works as an opposite thing. For example, something heavy on the bottom, something very light on top. I talk about very chunky heels and very light, sleek dress with very thin straps, as an example. Or you have very delicate shoes with very thin straps, and on top you have a lot of stuff going on here, maybe huge bows or big ruffles. All that might look slightly disbalanced. So best if you go with the delicate and slightly heavier. But I don't mean to go for something super chunky. There's always a gradient scale between the lightest shoes and the chunkiest shoes. The lightest would look like that. That already looks slightly heavier, even more heavy, and the heaviest. As an example. So it doesn't mean that if you don't look good in this type of chunky shoes, that you won't look good in this type of chunky shoes. Many things depend on your bone structure. If you have very, very delicate bones, you have bird-like hands, for example. I'm not talking about how tall or petite you are. Tall and petite women have their own rules, yes, but if we only talk about delicate and thin bone structure, then you would look great with more delicate shoes, and something like that would probably be too heavy. So your chunkiness probably stops somewhere here. So that is your range. Let's say you have slightly wider bones, not very wide, but not very delicate. So you're good to go with this range. Maybe not the chunkiest ones, and maybe not the lightest ones. For some women, both might work, but then it will depend on the outfit you're creating. Then for some women with heavier bone structure, with wider bones, maybe taller, or women with extra musculature, someone who looks slightly stronger and have a little bit more visual weight in their body, they might look good with this type of shoes. But this chunkiness might not look very good on them just because of the style, because they can be age thing or the vibe itself of a person. There can be different types of beauty. I have a huge Kibi body types playlist that you can check. I'm gonna leave the link down below, where we talk about a woman like Sophie Loren. She's soft dramatic. She has elongated limbs. She has dramatic bone structure, slightly sharp bones. On top of that, she has that soft flesh and roundness. And she does look slightly elongated. She has sharp and prominent features. So for her, that type of shoes will not work, even though she might look slightly larger and slightly heavier as a woman. But a woman with wider shoulders, a bit more muscular, angular, tall, elongated, with thinner legs or with muscular legs, she might look good with that kind of chunkiness. You should always see what is your vibe besides of your body type. But it's not true that you can only choose one type of chunkiness for yourself. It's actually multiple of them. It's just you have your own range. There are some women who have very classic bone structure and classic features of their face and their body. Everything looks very balanced and calm. Nothing is very prominent or too muscular or too soft. So for women like that, all the type of classic shoes would look great, and something that is over the top, something extremely chunky or crazy might just look not for them, even though that might fit to their proportions. They might look absolutely fine with that. It's just not fitting their vibe. If we talk about gamines, they are normally petite. They can be slightly softer, like soft gamines, or they can be slightly drier or more muscular, more squarish in figure, like flamboyant gamines. So for them, it depends. They normally are petite, so they have their own rules for shoes. And maybe flamboyant gamines would be fine to go for the chunkiest pair. Again, it depends on shoes. Chunkiness can look differently. If you still want to go for more elegant and more delicate examples of chunky shoes, they exist too. And sometimes it's just too chunky. Soft gamines, for example, they are petite, so they would look better with something a little bit more cute and rounded and a bit more delicate, because if they go for something extremely sharp and elongated, it's probably not for them. There can be romantics, so theatrical romantics, so softer ladies who are not tall looking and who consist of curves and very soft and gentle features, and they're so soft that everything quite aggressive and chunky is gonna make them look very heavy and do many other things for them. So it's not the best thing for them as well. So maybe that is their chunkiness range from this to this. There are also natural ladies who are normally moderate in size. They can be on a taller side or slightly on a smaller side, so they're softer, but they normally have a little bit wider ribcage area here, wider shoulders here, and a bit straighter maybe on the bottom in figures sometimes. So they sometimes can have more pronounced musculature and then can have blunt bones. Not very delicate and sharp, but not rounded as well. Blunt. So for them, all of that range might look good. Some of them might feel like that would be a little bit too delicate for them, so they would start from here. Some of them might feel like that would be a little bit too chunky for them, so they would go for that range. And then there can be dramatic women who are normally elongated. They're very sharp, very angular. They have sharp bones, prominent bones, elongated bones. So for them, something blunt and chunky to rounded will just not look balanced. So everything that is slightly on a more angular, pointed, or sharp side would be for them. As far as they look good with sharpness, many of them can look great with very delicate shoes like that. And then all the range up to probably here, maybe not the chunkiest ones, unless they're very angular looking and very sharp and more narrow looking, because they look better with narrower shoes because they have narrow bone structure. Now let's talk about straps. Straps can be thicker or thinner. Also, it's a gradient scale. So they can climb up the leg, it can be multiple of them, or they can be just one. So straps can be lower on a leg or on the ankle and above. All these combinations create a certain visual weight. All of these shoes, if they are in your skin color, gonna look much more delicate and will make your legs look more elongated. If the strap is lower on the foot, if it's on that part of the foot, not on the ankle, it's not gonna cut your leg and it's gonna make your legs look much more elongated because the ankles is the thinnest part and it's gonna be just empty without the strap. But if the straps are thick and they are around the ankle, especially if they're in a contrasted color, this is what normally is cutting your legs shorter. But only petite women or moderate sized women or women with shorter legs are dealing with that sometimes. So if you have elongated legs or if you are tall, normally it's not a problem for you and you can wear any straps you want. In general, there are just 6 types of a front part of the shoe. Sharp but small, sharp but elongated. It can be squarish short, squarish elongated, and it can be rounded short, rounded elongated. And another type, it could be sharp but slightly rounded, just looks more narrow and delicate. Women who are tall or elongated looking with elongated arms and legs and they are sharp and angular, they look best with elongated pointed shoe. If woman is smaller but she's sharp and quite straight in figure, they look their best with short but sharp toe, not too elongated, like normal. Women have blunt bones or wider bones, they normally look nice with more squarish toes, and then women who are smaller but have slightly wider bones, they might look good with slightly blunt and short toes, maybe a little bit more narrowed. That will give them some delicacy and elongate their legs. If the woman is rounded and soft, she would look better with everything shorter, not very elongated. If she goes for a sharper front, she should probably go for shorter sharper, not elongated sharp. She can go also for slightly rounded square, probably also not too sharp. Also, she can go for rounded toe. Maybe you want to go for something that's slightly elongated or slightly narrowed to the front. So let's go to basic shoes that most women have or should have in their wardrobe to have all the options. First one is black pumps. Some women don't have black pumps, they have beige pumps or pumps of their skin color, I would say. That is the best choice because they are invisible and they make legs so delicate, so elegant and classy. So everybody should have that. When the heel has straight angle from the back of the foot, it normally looks okay on taller women, but still it's not the safest to walk on. It almost feels like it's just about to break, and it became popular lately. Before, we didn't have shoes like that. For example, in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, the heel was more in the middle of the heel of the foot. And that is a bit more healthy, and especially for women who are soft looking, rounded looking, or especially for petite women, that is the best type of a heel. Even that one is a little bit too far. I would make it a little bit closer to the center of the shoe. Belly flats with block heel, probably that would be better, like a 1 centimeter heel or 2 centimeters heel. It is much more universal for everyone. Some petite women don't like belly flats, or they do wear them, but with very sleek cigarette pants, opening the ankle and just trying to elongate their look as much as possible, because especially women with thicker ankle, they don't like belly flats because they are very flat, so they're not flattering for the leg. Any slight heel would be much better for you, and it will lift you up slightly, and especially in beige color, again, it's beautiful. Also, 2-colored Coco Chanel kind of shoes. This is what I got. I love them very much. They look amazing. Especially if you have beige basic and black tip, normally looks very elongating for the leg because the beige part is kind of elongating your leg, and then you have this beautiful black tip as if your shoe just starts there. So it creates an illusion of very delicate, elongated legs and pointy fit. You can also have kitten heel. Sometimes it looks beautiful, but here you can really see what is your style direction. For some women, it's just not their style, but if you're more elegant, more classic, you love that chic style, a la 60s, for example, you can try, and kitten heel can look amazing. Mary Janes also look great if you want to have them in your wardrobe. It can last for a long time. Oxford shoes, it depends on legs, on your figure, on your proportions. There are some women who have very thin legs or quite muscular legs with thin ankle. They can wear Oxford shoes with different kinds of dresses and with blazer and pants. And women who are slightly smaller, they can also go for that, but the dress probably should keep its shape, should be slightly on the shorter side, should be a little bit more compact and not very flowy. And normally Oxfords look great with any type of a suit. It upgrades your style slightly. It looks great with classic trousers, with cigarette pants that are slightly smaller and ankle length, with longer trousers, any main tailored suits that women love so much. So it can be a great addition to your wardrobe. I noticed that women who are more on the softer side, they don't like having Oxfords in their wardrobe. They prefer sandals or loafers or different type of shoes. And women with more sharp bodies, more sharp and straight bone structure, normally love Oxford shoes because they feel great in blazers, in crispy shirts, and things that keep its shape, geometric things. So all that looks very harmonious. So strappy sandals. I think the most universal ones would be champagne color because they are almost invisible on the leg. Champagne is not golden but not silver. It's in between. It's kind of sparkly beige color. It looks very delicate on any foot. Again, if you have slightly wider bone structure, you probably can go for bigger heel, thicker straps. If you have more delicate bone structure, you can obviously go for more delicate sandals. Slippers look amazing. Something like Hermes. Hermes probably has been the most popular model lately. You can find a similar type to Hermes, and I think it looks quite delicate. Again, if you're more petite, probably you want to choose something more beige and with slight heel. It will always help. Flip-flops, probably not for the city. For the beach would be great. Birkenstock, some people like it. Some people say that it's making the legs too wide looking and not elegant. I agree, there are some women with soft flesh and more rounded features. These are too angular and too blunt shoes for their bone structure, so I would not recommend that for that type of women. Now, if you talk about wedge shoes, it goes with anything. Depends on what kind of wedges. For example, if it's a hidden wedge, it doesn't look beautiful. And it's better if it's slightly narrowed. It normally looks more delicate. You can buy that in beige color, in red even, in black. All that is quite classic looking, and some women go for stripy ones too. Now, boots. Boots are great whether in leather or suede. Boots are better if they are slightly narrower and the ankle. They can be black, tan, or beige. You can have a block heel. It can be smaller or bigger. It can be pointy or squarish or rounded. It just depends on what you prefer. Just don't go for boots with folds, especially if you're petite, especially if you have wide cuffs and wide ankles. It's not going to look flattering on your legs. Also, sleek boots lower the knee doesn't look very modern right now. You probably want to go for slight air between your skin and the boots, but again, not too wide as well. Something up to your knee would be also nice. And then if you have these rockers boots and stuff, also women with more angular bone structure would rock it better. If you have wider cuffs, probably it's going to be a little bit too heavy for you. You want to go for slightly more delicate, narrow and elongated boots. Sneakers is always a great addition. Best thing, of course, is those delicate kind of tennis shoes in white color, or you can get them in beige color or nude color of your skin. Again, it is making any leg look very delicate and elongated. You can also go for basketball shoes like Converse. Beige color always will look stylish. It's a very long-lasting thing. It will never be out of trend. So if you're tired of white things or black things, just get yourself a beige one. And sneakers can also be in different colors, which will add a lot of fun to your look. And normally it's very universal. It's basically for any body type. If the sneakers are too chunky, then I would be careful with that. They go out of style. They don't look beautiful with everything, especially if you are more on a softer and wider side. If you go for more delicate, more simple, without any embellishments models, you will not go wrong with that. And then if you want to add something interesting to your wardrobe, you can get metallic shoes, golden, silver, whether it's going to be Mary Jane's, or sandals or even sneakers. Just choose something a bit more simple without any additional embellishments or anything. Also, you can go for red shoes, whether it's sneakers again, or Converse, or sandals, espadrilles, or ballet flats. Beautiful red spot on the bottom will upgrade any boring outfit for you. If you feel like wearing everything black or wearing everything white, red shoes, beautiful, very stylish. And leopard shoes. This is what I'm wearing just recently. Slight heel. Beautiful natural leopard print on shoes always looks great. Again, whether it's sneakers or ballet flats, sandals, whatever you choose. But best if it's like more closed shoe and you can see that leopard print. Beautiful stylish choice for your basic shoes. Okay, in my next video, we're going to talk about petite women or women with shorter legs or women with wider legs, wider cuffs, and wider ankles. Some rules. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.